It's already just before Christmas, pretty late again, and it's our last day of filming this year. We've got a really awesome Actros here, ruby red as you can see, amazing paint job, especially in this light. I've never seen it like this before. I really like it. Today we're going to optimize the engine and transmission with our Schaknat app. We've got a new Actros L here, 1848, OM471 engine, third generation engine, so it's a brand new truck. It comes with 2,300 Newton meters of original torque. With top torque, it is 2,500 Newton meters, has the new PowerShift 3 transmission, and already features the new rear axle. So it's really a beautiful truck. Today we're going to optimize it as usual for fuel consumption. The customer operates in mixed service, sometimes fully loaded with 40 tons, sometimes with lighter loads. Today, the primary focus is really going to be on overall fuel consumption. The Euro 6e version is the latest emissions technology. I've just driven onto the test bench. I have to say the truck looks great, especially with these mirror cams. This is really very well done. It's now in its second or perhaps even its third generation, and the truck is now also equipped with electric steering. It drives really well. It starts off very smoothly. Many people criticize the throttle response on the Euro 6e, that it's not so great for maneuvering and such, but I can't confirm that at all with this vehicle. It really handled itself quite excellently on the test bench. Of course, we will still need to adjust the engine and transmission so that we can fine-tune certain aspects, especially for the dedicated maneuvering mode, so that everything can be very precisely controlled again, so that, as I said, when approaching ramps or similar situations, you can drive with the greatest possible accuracy. So we always try to take that into account in our optimization process as well. We've already secured it and we're measuring at the rear axle again. This is a completely standard 4x2 transfer case control. Here you can see the eddy current brake. We're measuring at this wheel again. I've already activated the test bench mode with our app. The new ones have a completely new test bench mode. It's actually getting more and more difficult these days with all the emergency braking assistance and lane keeping assistance. This is precisely the reason why I always prefer to activate the breast stand mode, particularly when in a 4- or 2-wheel drive setting, because this allows the truck to operate under the critical assumption that it is hitting a wall, which in turn ensures that we have absolutely no falsification at all in the final results. I have now successfully set up a test bench mode that completely deactivates the front axle and also deactivates all adaptive cruise control so that we can only measure the rear axle. All right, that's everything said so far. Now we'll do the initial measurement and then we'll see each other again at the monitor. Let's take a look at the initial measurements together here at the monitor. The car was very easy to measure. It now has just under 20,000 kilometers on it. So I would say the break-in phase is over now. Here at the bottom, we can see the RPM axis from 800 to 2200 revolutions, which is the maximum RPM. Here we see the horsepower axis. On this side, we see the torque axis. In this graph, the lower curve always corresponds to the torque, while the upper curve represents the peak power output. You can see here, I specifically put both curves next to each other. Here we see the lower curve, which is the wheel power, meaning what actually arrives at the wheels in the back. There we can see that we have approximately 2,200 Newton meters of torque, and when we calculate the total engine power, including power losses, we actually get almost exactly 2,500 Newton meters of torque. It's worth mentioning that the test bench has a tolerance of about 3%. So if I assume that 3%, we are actually exactly at the stock power output. The truck is supposed to have 480 horsepower and 2,300 Newton meters of torque as standard, and in 11th and 12th gear, they have top torqued. So this torque increase with the extra 200 Newton meters, we are measuring in 11th gear direct drive. As you can see again, that's exactly the stock power output. So as you can see, these are the best conditions for us to optimize. And then I would say, let's flash the AKW with the app. We'll quickly show you how we do that. And then I'd say we'll go ahead and do the baseline measurement again. We're now flashing the AKW briefly with our Schaknat app. Always the same principle, ignition on, plug in the adapter. When the blue light comes on, that indicates the adapter is actively searching for the phone. Then I'll go here, open the Schaknat application, connect to the Mercedes-Benz system with the adapter, and get the link right here in the X. And now you can see here It's connecting automatically. We'll get started now. The flashing process takes about 4 to 5 minutes. I won't necessarily show that now. I'll quickly show you how to optimize the transmission. Now we're doing the eco transmission optimization. That goes faster. Now you can see here the green bar is about to appear. Now you can see it's already fully optimized. I'll quickly flash the engine now. And then I'd say we'll go ahead and do the output measurement again. We'll take a look at the output measurement together. Up here on the graph, you can clearly see the green curve, and it's important to note this is the original curve. Then, for comparison, we also have the pink curve. That's the optimization we did with the app, the eco optimization. You can see here I set it to 300 Newton meters of torque, and we hit that pretty much exactly 2,795 revolutions per minute in 11th gear, with top torque in 11th gear. We now have an increased output of just under 530 horsepower. The engine is available in its most powerful version with 530 horsepower and 2,600 Newton meters of torque. We're just about there, and we actually have even more maximum torque. Personally, I'm always more of a fan of leaving out that peak power a bit and instead optimizing the torque at the lower end. That's what really matters, both in terms of shifting and fuel consumption, that it has good torques down there. Every revolution needs to be filled, so low revs mean low fuel consumption, and the truck tries to get into the higher gears quickly to make use of the torque. A diesel engine lives off its torque, that's why the peak power, that's perfectly fine, as you can see up here. This is now with the power loss. The vortex brake opened too early here. I'd say maybe 10 horsepower could be added there, but in the end, that doesn't really matter. The torque is what's crucial. I'm completely satisfied, and so is the customer. I showed it to him. I also showed him how it works with the app, and he thinks the app is great because you can flash it back and forth individually. So, as I said, he can really look forward to it. We've reached the end of our video about the engine and transmission optimization of the Actros L 1848 Euro 6e truck. As I said, it's a beautiful truck with an awesome paint job too. You can really see it in this light. The metallic paint, it's this ruby red. So it's really a gorgeous color as well. I also have to say very clearly, when it comes to the shifting, the engine running, the steering, and what Mercedes has now done with the mirror cams, really, hats off. They've really caught up a lot. So I have to say these are now really, really good trucks. A lot of people complain about the first MP4s because they really had a lot of teething problems. But I have to say, now with the MP5 chassis, with the latest, newest Gen 3 engine, these are really top vehicles, also in terms of fuel consumption and durability. So really, really great. Kudos to Mercedes-Benz. If you're interested in this topic, feel free to check out our website at www.schaknat.de. You are welcome to send us an email, give us a call, contact us via WhatsApp, or simply come by in person for a consultation. The customer will now only get the app from me. And of course, a nice logo-bossed air freshener from the Edition 2 Actros. I would be really happy about that too. I'll also give one to the driver again. They always like to have that. So, thank you very much for tuning in. I wish you all the best. See you next time. Bye.